Hello! Today we're rebuilding the template mechs from the Mech DLC because with my mechs build skills, I'm pretty sure I can make them way cooler. Let's get into it. Okay, so I want to show you the template mech that I'm going to be rebuilding today. Here it is. So, it has two energy blade swords, and he flies. Kinda pretty cool, but I think I can make the flight way better, and I think I can make animations way cooler. Make him a little bit bigger. He has this like cool blade pose that he does, and then with this shift he does like a twirl, like a drill. So let's see what we can do to make it way better. Okay. So, first off, his body kind of looks like a fighter jet pilot. It has that same mask-like shape as a fighter jet pilot. So I think that would be pretty cool to try to recreate. So I think around this big. Okay. And then let's put the body right here. Let's empty this out. Let's add these two 2x2 blocks. Now, as he was rolling, he didn't have much sway. So, as right here, I'm going to put two gyros right here. W, S. Let's set the strength to 4. Then we'll use these because this is what came up in the update. Let's set the angle to 35 maximum. The strength to 35. The dampening to 1.34. So hopefully, when we fly, this will like bend and give it a bit more human movement. Now, let me take a reference picture. Okay, I have the reference picture on my other screen where I can give a feel of what it's supposed to look like. Now, obviously, this guy needs like some way to propel up. So I think let's do movement and let's use space thrusters because they're pretty much second best thrusters, in my opinion. Let's stack these up by 3. And let's add those ribs right there. Okay. Now, as I can tell, he has a waist. And since, middle bodies move, let's add slight micros adjustments to this. Make the thing to 50. And then we will keep this turned. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't think there needs to be any stabilizers. Maybe for standing, but I think we can do without them. Now, let's get the arms set up. As now, they are with one angle of movement. So we have to add 2 movements, because that's better than 1 movement. So let's add 2 servos. Okay. And then, as in that, we will use these. Because I'm not trying to make a completely new mech. I'm trying to redesign it and use the basic new items that update / DLC came out with. So, we'll also block out the arms. I think they need to be 3. And then 2. There we go. Now we can just copy and paste that onto the other side. And then we'll get down to here. Now the waist. Waist is usually built like this. This is how I build my waist. So I have it like this. And then I have 2 steering hinges. 1 bar right here. And where is it? 1 steering servo on both sides, and then I put extra strength right there. Now let's block out these legs. So these legs will probably be about that tall. And then you probably want to make this width a little smaller. It's getting a bit too wide. Okay. Now, I do not think I'm going to make him walk. Because, well, it's a main flying mech. So I don't think it needs to walk. Okay. Then we'll put 2 spin servos. And 1 of these. And then let's just put a 4x2 right here. That is so unproportioned, it's sickening. So let's reproportion this to something a bit more accurate. About that is good. Somehow it's still way too, there we go. And then we can probably move this over to double stack it like that. Now, let's get the NOR gates up in here and do a idle pose. So NOR. Okay. So we want this to go up, but first, let's turn off all inputs, all these. Therefore, we have no mistakes. Since that's negative, just hook that up. Then all we have to do here, make this negative sided, and put this on. Now somehow I messed that completely up. So all we have to do is replace it, and then do minus 0.5. There we go. That's better. Now, let's add a bit of stance to the legs. So let's do that. 0.5 on this one. Disconnect all those. Have that. Now, so we want that to be that, not to be that. Boom. Wait, I think that's right. That's the other way around. And this is a basic, easy to step follow thing. And then to make that negative and negative. So negative and negative. Okay. So now we want turning server right there and there. Let's do that and that. As in, let's just put 2 feet on here. Okay. Now, all we need to do is hook up this. Okay. Should be turning up. Let's set this to 45. 45. Let's just make another one of these. Then it's -1. Okay, there we go, now it works. So let's do negative 0.7. That's still basic, not enough, so negative 0.91. Oh yes, there we go. Now let's do the stance for, oh, okay, I guess we might need one singular and since we have to add 2 for symmetry, let's do that, and let's do strength 1.5 off on by default. Space to do that. Let's not toggle it. Okay, now it stands up perfectly fine. Okay. So now I gotta make these spin down. Let's make that. And since this is arms, we are going to do new logic, and we are going to color this yellow. 0.8. Okay. Negative 0.8. There we go. I don't know how the hell that happened. Sorry for my profanity. Okay. There we go. That's turning out really good. Now, we gotta get the head in. Clearly, since it turns pretty easily. So that goes up, that goes up. And this will be a 60-degree angle. So, boom. Okay. Actually, ooh, that's a bad problem. Let's test its flyability. Okay, we fly pretty good, but we can't control our angles. So let's put a gyro right here. So when we go forwards, yes, it's a strength of 4. Okay. Now, what we do is we need a nice right there, off by default. 3 power, boom. Okay. Now we shouldn't turn over anymore. Now, when we also press that, we have to make these turn off. So, let's see if I'm right about this. If we have negative on that. There we go. See, now it turns completely off. And now it's more on a fly stance. There we go. Now it actually flies. Now, let's get to designing. So this is the skeleton. Let's color you a kind of light gray. Let's make you clean. Okay, there we go. Now, as I see in the picture, he has a really big chest. Really big chest. So, what I want to do is grab... Let's see. I want to see something. Would this work? That's kind of freaky. Pause. I could probably fix that in a way. Maybe if we go up one. And then all we did was like this. What's that? It's not half decent. Now, I want to add a bit more detail. So, fighter pilots I've seen, they have like seatbelt straps and collars and all that. But let's actually make this a 3x4 wedge. Therefore, it's more manly. Okay. Now it can stick out like this. But it also can be attached just like this. Now, for this part, I want this area covered up with this and the same block like this. Therefore, right here will be either this or gyro. Now, here's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to stack these up and add them like that. Since this is decoration, well, actually, that would actually work. That would propel you up a bit. Now, let's make this right here. Let's put crossbeam right here. Like that. That's cool. And then, on the back here, seems like there's two wings. But obviously we need to design the back first. So I'm thinking of this. Then I want it to curve in. So let's use fours. Like this. Okay. Basically, that should be able to have an area of where we can actually have a seaming block. This can actually connect to the front. Like that. Then that could be a 2x4 or 2x2 I meant. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's right. There we go, right? Oh, okay, that's right. And this will just be a 2x4. Right there, we can add a light, like that. And let's have this on this side. There we go. Now, I'm going to do a time lapse of the upper part right now. Okay, I'm back, and this is what I have so far. I'm done with the upper part for so far. We fly up like this. And boom. There has a lot more blades on there. All the coloring's done on the top, and that's about it for that right now. I'm going to do partially the legs without time stop. So let's do it. So I think let's just use this. Make the waist a bit bigger than the waist area. Okay, and then we need the crotch area, so let's use this part. And up here, I'll use one of the decorated parts. Like that. Okay. And then on the back, I'll probably just do this. Okay. And right in there, we'll put 2 spotlights. There we go. Now that the waist is done, I'm going to do time lapse again. Okay, so here's the finished product. So we have 3 blades instead of just 1. It flies now. It flies a bit worse than, you know, the original. But it's bigger, it's bulkier, it's more detailed, and also it has more dynamic movement, as you can see. It has more dynamic, like, motion to it. Then it turns, it does the swirl, and that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like this video, and bye.